What's going on, guys? Back at you again, and let's get right through these picks. We're going to do pick 21 through 32, and let's just get right through it. So, right now on pick 21, well, our last pick was the Steelers, pick 20. They picked Xavier Worthy, the wideout. Now I have the Dolphins picking at 21. I have them picking a cornerback, and the cornerback I had them picking, his name, let's look at him real quick. His name is Kool-Aid McKinstry. All right. I picked him for them. And let's see who they compare him as, or to. They compare him to Joey Porter Jr., so that's not a bad comparison for someone. He's a 6 foot, 200-pounder guy. He should fit well with them, with the Dolphins. I mean, they may not pick him, but they're gonna pick a corner. I think one of those corners they'll pick. May not be him, might be another guy, but I chose him for them. All right, next we have. Let's see. The next pick is the Eagles. So with the Eagles, I had them picking cornerback Enos Rakestraw. Right here, Enos Rakestraw for the Eagles. 5'11" guy. They compare him to Tre'Davious White, so that's a very good comparison, and that's someone that can help them. They need help at defensive back. They were getting torched, and that's somewhere or someone that can help them really quickly and immensely. All right, next pick. I'm trying to get through these quickly because I got practice myself. I'm trying to get this over with. So the draft is tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, we got to get this done. So next pick is the Vikings, who traded that pick, in my opinion, to the Patriots. And I have the Patriots. They already picked the quarterback, Michael Penix, right? Let me just double check. Drake May. No, the Vikings got them. Michael Penix. Yeah, I got the Patriots picking Michael Penix. So they got the quarterback. And then I had them picking wide receiver Keon Coleman. And let's find Mr. Keon Coleman so you guys can see why. Right here, Keon Coleman. I had the Patriots picking him. And his comparison, he's 6'3", 213. They compare him to Drake London, guys. You know what I mean? The Patriots, they need a big body guy that can get touchdowns. He's a red zone threat. He runs routes. He's good on third downs. That's what the Patriots need. They need a guy they can depend on third down that can score in the red zone. They don't have that. So if they pick him, that solves an issue right there. That helps your quarterback out. That helps the offense out. I think if they're trying to win, they go Penix and then they go receiver. Whether it's Keon or someone else, they have to go with a playmaker to help the quarterback out, and they can grow together. Next, I got the Cowboys, I believe, are the next pick. Yeah, because the Patriots traded for that 23rd pick, in my opinion. Now the Cowboys would be picking at 24. And I have the Cowboys picking a wide receiver. And this guy right here is Xavier Legette. They compare him to Jonathan Mingo. Nothing too special, but he's the 5th ranked receiver in the whole draft. A 6'1" guy. Runs a 4.3. He's built like a running back almost. So big, strong, tough guy. So I think that brings some attitude to their team. They got CeeDee Lamb. He's the route runner. Now they got the power receiver guy. You know what I mean? And they still have Brandon Cooks for the speed guys. So they have a nice little basketball team if they draft this guy. But they also do need a running back. But I think they'll do that next round. They could have... Excuse me. Another thing that Dallas could do, because it's really Dallas of them, they could draft a running back number 1. That's something Dallas does all the time, right? Ezekiel Elliott, right? Darren McFadden, Emmett, like the list goes on. They always draft running backs in the first round. That's why I'm like, they might do this, but they may not. But let's say they don't pick the receiver, which they could do. But let's look at their depth chart real quick. I believe they do need a running back because they got rid of their guys. But, In the NFL, it's just not smart to draft a running back in the first round. But Dallas, they're still stuck in the 1999s, you know, in the 1990s. So they'll probably draft a running back. Who's this guy? Rico Dowdle, or whatever his name is. Yeah, I don't even know who that is. He's a 25-year-old, you know, scat back, looks like. Do you depend on that? I'd say probably not. Because there was a running back that was compared to Aaron Jones. So if you tell me that the Cowboys have Aaron Jones with the offense they have, that immediately makes them better. That's why I was kind of like, they could get receiver or they could get running back. I think they get receiver because the receivers are all coming off the board so quickly. So that if they wait, there's not going to be any receivers left. So that's why I went receiver first. If there were still a shit ton of receivers that were top at least 5 or like 8, I would still wait it out. But the fact that all the receivers are gone, that's why I reached out for this guy, because he's one of the last top receivers. Looking down the list, where's the running back at? I just want you guys to see. Here he is. This guy is compared to Aaron Jones, guys. So I was thinking to myself, they could draft him. That would be something that Dallas would do. This is the number 1 ranked running back, guys. So you know he's fucking good. But no running back is worth a first round pick, as we saw with Bijan Robinson. He was a great player, but he wasn't a first round pick. He wasn't worth that. They didn't even make the playoffs. Didn't hear shit about him. So it's just not smart. If they can get him in the second round or possibly move up, say they get the receiver, right? And then they're able to move up in the draft in the second round, give up like a 5th, you know, or like a 4th and a 2nd just to move up to get this guy. Now you got your receiver, your running back. You don't really need too much as the Cowboys. This is the draft where you can move up and get the players you need because your team is good already. You know, it's just quarterback getting over the hump. That's Dallas's problem. Can Dak win the big game? That's what everyone's asking. And the sad part is there's not too many running backs on the top picks. You saw that guy. Now we're down on page 3. Now we're finally seeing another running back, and he has no comparison. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. I don't watch college football that much, so I don't know all these guys like that. So I can't just be like, oh yeah, this guy's that, this guy's this. Devontae Freeman, though, this is a good comparison. So it's weird. The 3rd ranked running back has a comparison, but the 2nd doesn't. That's kind of weird to me. Marshawn Lloyd, he's got nothing. So we got an Aaron Jones and a Devontae Freeman. Those are 2 good comparisons. I can see the Cowboys drafting receiver and then moving up in the second round just so they can get their running back. So be weary of that because that's all they need, the Cowboys, because they lost running backs. Now they need a guy that they can, you know, have on a rookie contract for the next 4 or 5 years and not worry about that. Cowboys, they love to have the running back. That's something they love to do. They love to have that situated. And McCarthy, don't forget, guys, Mike McCarthy drafted Aaron Jones on Green Bay. So if you're telling me this guy is a comparison to Aaron Jones, the running back we just spoke of, he's probably going to get drafted, guys. But don't forget, the picks that I'm making here isn't necessarily what they're going to do. I'm just going based on what I think the team should do. And a little mixture of both. It's a mixture of what I think they should do and what they will do. So that's why it's like, it's a fine line. So I think the Cowboys are going to go receiver or running back. But I'll leave it with Xavier Legette. If they don't get Legette, they're going to get that running back, the Aaron Jones comparison guy. Whatever his freaking name is. Where is he? Right here, Jonathan Brooks. So they're going to get receiver or Jonathan Brooks, the Cowboys, in my opinion. And like they can't go anywhere else. Defense is stacked. The O-line is good enough unless you go tackle to replace Tyron Smith. Other than that, you don't go anywhere else. Receiver, running back, build on your offense. All right, next is Green Bay. I have Green Bay picking nothing sexy here. I got them picking a tackle because I looked at their team. They don't need receiver. They don't need running backs. They got 2. Their defense is still good. They can draft that later, get more guys later. It's O-line guys. They need a right tackle. I think their right tackle is like late 20s and giving up sacks or whatever. So I looked that up. So I have them picking J.C. Latham. So let's see if there's a comparison on this guy. J.C. Latham. He might be on the second page. Nope, right here. So he's from Alabama. He's compared to Jawan Taylor, the starting tackle of the champions, the KC Chiefs, Kansas City. So, I mean, he's compared to a champion. That's going to make anybody raise their eyebrow. So, I have the Green Bay Packers picking them, solidifying their O-line, making them that much better. All right, next is Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay. I got them going with an edge player, guys, because I looked at their whole team. Like, they look pretty good everywhere. I had the Cowboys up the whole time. I could have looked at them, but see, their running backs are pretty not good or known. So that's why I did that. But if you look at Tampa Bay, I literally looked up and down their roster, and then I remembered they have a defensive coach. He always picks a defensive player first. Like, because they could use another receiver, but a lot of them are going to be gone, you know. Running back, they're probably okay there. They could use a tight end. They could use a slot guy, but they'll probably stay away from receiver. But they definitely need a tight end, guys. 100% need a tight end. They could use another lineman, right? But then I looked at defense. I looked at all their stats. They get no sacks, guys. They got no guy on this defense that can get them a sack. So I got them drafting an outside backer, rush end, to take on this guy because this guy has no stats, wasn't really providing them anything. I got them picking this Luda guy. Let's find him. Right here, this guy. So they're going to get this edge guy, in my opinion. He's 6'5", 260. And he's compared to Matthew Judon, guys. So if Tampa Bay can get a player like Matthew Judon, that instantly just helps them out. Because they don't have any players like that can go after the quarterback. And they have a defensive coach, you know what I mean? He knows that they need pressure. They weren't getting any pressure on anybody last year. This is almost a no-brainer. It really is. They have Vita Vea, so they got the guy in the middle. This guy can't do it all by himself. They got him in the first round last year, right? Levante is a tackle machine. This guy, too. They need two guys they can rely on off the edge, and that's what that guy provides for you. And then they'll probably draft a corner next round for this guy, I think. That's what I think they'll do. I think they'll go edge, corner, and then they'll start thinking about tight end and receiver and everything else. So, that's that. All right, next pick is the Cardinals. So we had them picking Marvin Harrison for pick 4, right? So now I also have them picking an edge player, guys, because I looked at their roster, the Cardinals, and they had nothing to offer on the edge at all. Their highest sack total guy at any position was 4, and they wonder why they suck. Like, if you get no pressure, if you can't get to the other team's quarterback and you let them get to your quarterback, you're not going to win very many games, and that's what their scenario was. They were getting sacked all the time, and they couldn't get to the quarterback. None of these guys are rush players at all. None of them. So that's why I did that. So they got their receiver. I was thinking maybe they'll draft 2 receivers. No, they'll get another receiver later because a big need is defense. They sucked on defense. So now they got their tackles last year and the year before. They got their quarterback. Running back's fine. They don't really have much receiver, right? They got a good tight end. Now they got to get an edge guy. So get your edge guy and then worry about receiver next. But I have them drafting Marvin Harrison, so they have their receiver. So they'll have Marvin with Michael Wilson, right? So now you need an edge guy, and then you'll get another receiver later. So the edge guy I have them getting is none other than Chop Robinson. the big dog. He's 6'3", 254. He's compared to Josh Sweat, guys. Josh Sweat, guys. He changed that whole defense for the Bears, man. Or actually, there's two Sweat. I always get them confused. There's two Sweats. There's one on the Eagles, and there's one that's on the Bears now. I always get them too confused. I think this is the one that's on the Eagles. They're both good players. Both Sweats are great players. All right, so the point I'm trying to make is getting a player like this that instantly makes your defense better. Now you have a motor off the edge. You got your receiver to help your quarterback out. Like, your team is going to be ready to go with those two picks alone. Those are two great picks for them if they can make that happen. So I got them picking that. All right, next is the Bills. Now, with the Bills, they let both of their receivers go. They let receiver 1, receiver 2 just walked. They just let them go. And they're still paying a lot of their contract. So I have them replacing one of their receivers with Ladd McConkey. Where is he? Ladd McConkey might be on the second page. I was watching this guy's tape, and this guy is a beast. I don't care what anybody says. This dude can play. So Ladd McConkey, I got the Bills picking him up. This guy is an animal. He's compared to Jordan Addison, but he really... He I guess you can say he's Jordan Addison, but he also has flashes of Edelman in him. Like, I could see both of those. He's like, it's like if Edelman and Addison had a baby. That's what this guy is, and that will help this team very much. All right, this is a 28th pick, so you're not going to get a top 5 guy. So right now you're trying to look for a guy that can help. He's basically the same body type as the two guys you let go. It's Diggs, right? And then Davis. They both are around 6 foot 5'11" guys. So that's what this guy is. And he provides you what they did. If not, not as much. Well, we don't know. He might be better. We don't know yet. But the point is, he's basically the same type of player that they had. So that's why I went that way with him. So they got little Ladd McConkey. All right, next pick is the Lions at 29. And I also have them picking a wide receiver. I have them going, and I looked at the film on these receivers I'm picking. That's why I looked at the way they played, and I figured this guy probably fits better on this team based on how they play. And that's why I did it. So I picked Ja'Lynn Polk, the wide receiver, for the Lions. Where is Polk at? Ja'Lynn Polk, where are you? He might be on the first page at the end. Let me go back and check. Come on. Let's see. Where the hell is this guy? I guess then he is on the second page. Why couldn't I find him? What the hell? Where is he? I just want you guys to see his comparison so you guys can see why I did what I did. Where is this guy? Is he really on the third page? There's no way this guy is on the third page. Oh, I guess he was. So right here, Ja'Lynn Polk. There's no comparison on him, but this guy is an animal. I'll let you see some of his tape so you guys can... so I can justify the reason why I picked him. So it's not like, why did you pick this guy? Just watch him. Big body. Gets positioning. Opens up. Shows the numbers. Gives the quarterback a big target. Fights to get in the end zone. Beats the little corner off the line. Turns his hips. Gets to the outside. Uses his hands. And spins off the tackle. And runs by him. Obviously bad tackle attempts. Finds the middle of the zone. 43 bad angle, bad tackling. But he's still able to just get through that, guys. And this is a one-on-one situation. DB never turns around, but that's what happens in the NFL. It's something you can compare it to. So that's why I picked him. I think he can help the Lions out immensely. Imagine the Lions having a player like this with Amon-Ra St. Brown. These two guys together, yeah, that is a tandem that I would be scared to watch. I would not want to game plan for that. So that's why I got the Lions picking him. All right, next we got the Ravens. All right, I got the Ravens. I got them picking a cornerback, guys, because they're set, guys. They are stacked, but they're missing a corner. I think they let a corner go, so they need a corner, guys. And I have them picking Nate Wiggins, and this is why I have him pick him Nate Wiggins. Look at his comparison. He's compared to DRC, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, guys. He's 6'1", 6'2", lengthy, 4'3", 4'2", actually. So he runs a sub 4'3", so it's a little less than that. So that's even faster. I watched his tape. He literally jumps every route, guys. This dude is incredible. He really should be the #1 ranked corner. So they're going to be stealing this guy. For some reason, he was ranked 4. He really is probably the best corner out of everyone. I watched his tape, and I'm not shitting you. In terms of in terms of playing the ball, jumping routes, being aggressive, and just not, being passive at all, he's probably the #1 corner, in my opinion. And the Ravens are going to get him at 30 as a steal, in my opinion. That literally makes their defense even better than it was, guys. So now there's 2 more picks. I got the 49ers. I got them picking a cornerback because they need a cornerback as well. I mean, we can look if you don't believe me. Like, they're stacked everywhere else. So it's like, at this point, let's build on this team. And now they got to build a team to beat the Chiefs. How do you beat the Chiefs? You need guys that can cover their receivers. And that's where they were getting killed last year. They couldn't cover their receivers. And Joey Bosa, or Nick Bosa, couldn't contain the edge. He kept crashing inside on purpose, obviously. So there's that. They could draft. Actually, they ended up getting Leonard Floyd. So now they have 2 edge guys. So that actually helps them. But if you look over here, this guy, they've never really been big on him. They're not gonna start him as the #2 corner, the main guy all season. I don't see that. You look everywhere else, they're good at receiver, they're good at running back, quarterback. O-line is good. You could make a case for maybe a right tackle, but what's more impactful? A cornerback. That helps you immediately on defense and helps you beat the Chiefs. You need cornerbacks to help them or help stop Mahomes in that offense. So I have them picking Cooper DeJean. I don't know how they'll pronounce it, but Cooper DeJean, this guy right here from Iowa. They compare him to L'Jarius Sneed. So, either the Niners will get him or the Chiefs will get him probably. So, but either way, I got the Niners picking him. It's like Sneed is a champion, 2-time champion. Now he's on another team. They had to because of money. And it's just going to work out well. Either way they go, this guy's going to make plays for them. He's going to be a force, and it's going to be very good. All right, last but not least, number 32, the Chiefs, the defending champs. I got them also picking a cornerback because we'll look at theirs just because they're the champs, the last team. Might as well see their roster. Might as well pay that respect. We showed the Jets and the Browns, right? Or actually, did we show the Browns? I don't remember making a Browns pick. I don't think the Browns had a first-round pick, guys. Yeah, the Browns didn't have a first-round pick, right? Is that because of Deshaun Watson trade? Or another trade? Yeah, the Browns don't have another pick. I guess that's why the Cards had 2 picks, right? And then the Vikings. Yeah, all right, that makes sense. All right, so if you look at this roster, they picked up Hollywood Brown, So I think they're going to draft another receiver later, though. I think the first pick, they need help elsewhere. And there's not that many receivers left right now anyway. If it goes the way I think it's going to go, all the receivers are going to be gone, the best ones. There's still going to be good ones. Don't get me twisted. There are still great receivers out there, but not the big names that everyone knows is what I'm saying. So looking at their defense, I think they're going to replace L'Jarius Sneed. You've lost him. Now you're going to have to replace him. That's how it goes in the NFL. So I think they're going to end up drafting Terrion Arnold. right here, this guy. If they can't get their L'Jarius Sneed lookalike, on the prospect, then they'll get this guy, the number 2 ranked corner. And he's compared to Devin Witherspoon. I think he plays on the Panthers. So, this guy, lengthy, aggressive, fast, everything they would need, He's just like Sneed, same size, same body type. Just what they need. So that's how I think it's gonna go. Obviously, the names might be different, but everything I picked for these teams are needs of theirs. It's everything that every team would need. Whether it's first, second, third round, they need these players. Whether it's these names or interchangeable names, these teams are in need of these positions and or these players that I picked. But we'll see how the draft goes. I think I'll get at least 5 of these picks right. Like obviously, there's no way I'm gonna get anywhere close to all of them right. But I can see myself getting like 5 right, maybe 4. Like if I can get 3. If I can get 3 picks right, I'm happy, honestly, because God knows what the fuck is gonna happen. There's literally hundreds of names, right? So, well, is it hundreds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a couple hundred names. There's a couple hundred names. You can't expect me to know out of like close to 250 guys who's going to go where. I'm just guessing. The first pick we'll probably all get right, so I'm not even counting that one. We all think Caleb's going 1. I'm not counting that one. I'm counting everything else. If I can get 3 of them right, I'm happy, honestly, because these drafts go crazy. There's going to be so many trades that I couldn't have seen happen. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and join me for, I might stream for the draft tomorrow for the first round just to see how our picks went. But then again, I don't know, just because those drafts are so long and, like, time-consuming. I just don't want to be sitting around doing that. So we'll just see how I feel. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. But either way, thanks for watching. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.